Hi there everybody, my name is Shaver Slono and I'm going to be presenting to you today on the Defense of Marriage Act of 1996. I'll be referring to it as the DOMA, as the journals and articles and all my sources referred to the act as that. So this act was implemented by Bill Clinton, who was our nation's president at the time in 1996. The DOMA is an act that denies federal recognition of married homosexual couples in states that refuse to recognize them as one unified married couple. The reasons as to why this act were initiated are twofold. One can easily be kind of assumed and just thought of, while the other is something that I'll be explaining a little bit more in depth to you guys to help provide more clarity on the subject. So, the first is the autoimmune deficiency syndrome epidemic, otherwise known as the AIDS epidemic. Prior to the advancement of medicine in our nation, AIDS was something that was considered a terminal disease, which would provide a lot of clarity as to why homosexuality was something that was so worrisome and very rejected. So the second factor of initiation would be the Bear versus Mike case. Now what this was Lawrence Mike, a Hawaii Department of Health official, he refused to award marriage licenses to 3 same-sex couples. So this case began in 1990 and 9 years later was found in favor of the denial of recognition of married homosexual couples in a federal way. So the Defense of Marriage Act was passed in 1996. So that passing of the act aided the Bear versus Mike case in coming to its final conclusion and final decision in the refusal of recognition of homosexual married couples. According to B.D. Adams, once states began legalizing homosexual marriage, many DOMAs were placed into effect, giving each state the right to not recognize a homosexual couple as married if they so desired. So for example, Utah was the first state to legalize gay marriage. If they wished to just one day not recognize homosexual couples as married, they could 100% do that due to the Defense of Marriage Act. So although President Bill Clinton was the one to ultimately pass this act in 1996, the Republican Party is now known to have support and control over the act today. President Bill Clinton was a Democrat, which I find a little bit funny that he passed it, but the Republican Party are the forerunners of this act. So I kind of find myself standing at a little bit of a middle point with this act. I feel like if a state legalizes gay marriage, then they should recognize gay marriage, and instead of completely denying the recognition and the realness of that, although they have passed that law, I think it's a little bit funny. So it's hard for me to find a viewpoint on this, but I guess I do agree with the Defense of Marriage Act if it lines up with your law. If it doesn't, then I find myself disagreeing. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it provided a little bit more clarity on what the Defense of Marriage Act was and what really got it going and how it's viewed today. So I hope that this video provided a little bit more clarity, and I hope that you can find a standing point better than I can. So thank you guys so much.